Hi, my name is Lindsey Fisher, and I can't wait to tell you about some of my experiences with adult training. The session I'll tell you guys about today is of the 2018 AAP Secondary Summer Institute. I gave a 3-hour session on using technology for student engagement. The audience for this included teachers of all subjects and levels, ranging from grades 6 to 12, and anything from art to PE to science to math and all the subjects in between. It was an optional summer professional development in which teachers were participating at the end of their school year in order to learn more and get ready for the next year. So, our instructional objective was to have teachers create 2 blended learning lessons for student engagement by completing a hyperdoc, which included access to different ways to create the lessons that I had demonstrated. The delivery is that teachers sat with other teachers of their content areas and then participated in a series of example lessons using all kinds of tools, including Flipgrid, Padlet, Google Forms, Google Drawings. And then as they participated in those lessons, they would then reflect on how they could modify the lesson for their content. At the end, teachers worked together with their content teams to create lessons for their subject based on the learning. So I gave them the example lesson and also a series of instructions on how to create those example lessons. So I'll walk you through what this looks like. So one lesson I gave them is zoom-ins. So the idea behind a zoom-in is giving students a small section of a document or a picture and having them create hypotheses about this using Google Forms. I explained to the teachers what this was, and then I had teachers look at a zoom-in that I had created. And so with the zoom-in, you can look at the image below, start to make some hypotheses, and then continue on to see more of the image until you finally see the image at the end and reflect on where you were right, where you were wrong, and what questions you still have about the painting. So teachers participate in the zoom-in as though they're a student, and then I gave them some tips as to how I execute this in my own classroom. From there, I have teachers reflect on what could you do in your own classroom, how might you change this based on your students' needs, how might you use this with your own content, or what questions do you have? And so I also gave them conversation starters in case they felt a little uncomfortable or didn't know the other people in the group. From there, we went through several model lessons, and toward the end, I had teachers creating lessons based on different instructions for whichever lessons that they felt were most applicable to their content area. During this professional development, I gave teachers lots of opportunities for me to assess whether they understood what we were doing. There were small and large group share-outs to try and reflect on where they had questions and where they were stuck. Since they had access to all the materials via Google Classroom, I was able to see where they were floating around and what kind of questions they had there. I also had a back channel going on in the Google Classroom so teachers could ask questions. I had teachers use a Google form to tell me what their takeaways were, what they planned to try, and what I could improve for next time. This also allowed me to keep in touch so that I could get more information from teachers about what they liked well, what they used, and the lessons that they created. Thank you very much.